and welcome to this week's episode of I've Got a Story for You. I'm Josh.
And I'm Luke.
And this is a podcast that takes you through mine and Luke's past escapades and stories over the years.
Yeah, there's definitely a fair few tales, and we've already spoken about a few. But this week is... I'm not going to show it to my family. They're just going to have to find it for themselves. I'm not looking forward to this coming out, you know.
Well, the topic of this podcast is called dogging. By dogging, we don't actually mean that, well...
It's weird, isn't it, dogging? Because there's so, like, it could just mean having sex in the back of a car. It could mean going and watching people having sex. Like, some people say, is it really dogging if someone's not watching you? And I think, you know, if it feels right for you, call it whatever you want.
That's it.
Have you ever watched anyone?
So
this is a long pause.
This brings us on to my story that I want to bring up. So, when I moved into my house where my dad lives now, we had some brand new next door neighbours, and we sort of got talking.
Yeah.
And it turned out that he was a rabid dogging expert. As in, he wanted to go out nearly every weekend and go and find doggers.
Right.
Which, at first, it was quite like, all right, yeah, it's quite fun. But then it became very quickly an obsession. to a point where it was like every weekend, possibly like we finish work early and we'll probably go out before, like, as it gets dark and go and find some doggers.
Yeah.
But we ended up finding, through means of our local newspaper, some well-known sites in Chesterfield to find some doggers. And I suppose the excitement was always to see if we could actually find someone actually like
going at
fucking in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gamble though, isn't it? Because it could go one way or the other. It's either like two OAPs reliving the glory days, or you might get some fresh meat. That's
it. I mean, we did get a good mixture, to be fair. But one thing to note about like proper doggers, right? It's very seasonal. It's a bit like
pumpkin picking.
Pumpkin picking, yeah, and sunflower picking. The weather has to be absolutely perfect for doggers to go out and venture, because, like, without going into it properly, we did find a lot of things about the dogging community that we didn't really want to find out.
Like what?
So we basically set up an Instagram called Dogging Derbyshire, which was used to like entice the community in and try and like find some secrets out.
Yeah.
And we were approached by somebody that wanted to basically join us with our dogging escapades. Just to give you a bit of background as well, we had an A-list, and my name was Sharon on there, and I was a nurse, and I had a husband who worked at Aldi, and we had to like make a story to make it sound more believable.
Mate, if Sharon's a nurse, she could get way better than an Aldi worker. Not putting Aldi down, like, but you're a nurse, aim high.
But yeah, so we obviously used her as a little A-list, but the what we found was somebody wanted to meet us in a lay-by in Dronfield, which is like outskirts of Chesterfield.
Right.
And basically, rather than it being like the renowned dogging places that we'd found before, there were other places which you got an invite for. So this guy was going to meet us in a lay-by, give us the location of where basically the massive orgy was going to take place. And at that point, we checked out. We were like, this is too much for us.
Why? That would have been like the holy grail of dogging.
But yeah, I was like, how old was I? Probably about 18. Just turned 18.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go down there. But
I don't think you've ever told me this story. You know?
Have I not?
No.
Well, I told you when we actually did find someone dogging, and it was one of the most awkwardest thing I've ever dealt with. So, yeah, we found out obviously the renowned places in Derbyshire. So we decided to go to one on this one summer night, and then we pull up, and the next door neighbour I went with, he started flashing his lights, as you do, because we thought that's what happens when you go dogging. So he started flashing his lights. Then they started flashing the lights back. But from what we could see, it was like two girls in the front seat. So we were like, oh yeah, they're just here to take the piss. They're not really being serious or anything like that. So then we keep flashing, like egging each other on, because yeah, we just thought they were taking the piss. And then they drive out of the car park, and I'm like, right, okay, what do we do now? Just wait here.
Chase them.
Chase them, yeah. So then I'm all there like, we just wait for 15-20 minutes. They might come back. We'll see what happens, because we were like hoping to get all the like seeing some actual doggers in action. The night was quite young. We were young, and we wanted to see some titties. So we held on for 15-20 minutes, and they came back, and they just parked in the middle of the car park. So it was like, right, flash your lights again. So they did, and I was bursting for a piss, like proper bursting for a piss. So I was like, Sam, we need to go. Like, if we go, it was all like, I get out, and because I really need a piss. So he was like, we've waited now. They're back. They flashed the lights. Like, what do you want me to do? So I was like, right, fuck it, I'm going to go for a piss. So as I'm trying to get out of the car, he put child lock on, so I had to let myself out by putting the window down. He decided to turn all his lights off, so I couldn't see fuck all. I'm going towards his car, and then suddenly I hear like all doors opening. So I'm walking past thinking fuck. So I'm looking down, and all I can hear is like, so this, just to put in perspective, right, how he like quickly from like that point to the next point that I'm about to speak about, did she decide that she was going to get everything off and start fucking on the back seat? Because it literally took me to get out of the car, to walk past it, for this massive fat woman getting absolutely railed by a chav, and she was like halfway there. Like she nearly came as I was walking past. I was like, what the fuck? So I just went, I'm so sorry. I'm just going for a wee. I didn't know what else to say to her. I was like, and she was like, and he, you know when you get like the weird eye contact.
Yeah.
The only fucking like time I locked eyes with somebody was while she was getting like penetrated.
Oh my god!
And I had to walk back as she was finishing up.
Oh,
so. No. Yeah, that was my only experience seeing people dogging.
Didn't you fancy a slice?
A slice? There was a lot to go around, I'll put it that way.
All you can eat?
All you can eat. She'd been to Golden Dragon before. She'd already had about 5 all you can eats before she came out dogging.
Right, be careful now, because you made me take a story out last week because it was too harsh about a fat girl. So let's tread carefully on that one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh.
At least I didn't know her.
No, you've had your experience with dogging yourself, haven't you?
I have.
Where your head kept smacking the pan roof.
Yeah. We also had sex in a car park of I think it's a garden in, what's it called, a garden centre.
Dobbies?
Not Dobbies, no.
That's too upper class for dogging, I think.
Yeah. That is, yeah, it is. Now, so one near like Fox House in Sheffield, there's like a car park. I don't know if it's like a visitor centre or something, but the whole time I was like paranoid that someone was going to come out and like watch me as I got my little white arse.
The key, you need to find the discreet places.
Yeah. It's not like, is it the proper discreet places, or is it places where you think, oh, might be a good idea for dogging, but it's like too obvious that it will be for dogging? Like, for example, the back at Cineworld, for example. Like, it would be a good place for dogging.
No, but that is too public. If you're not wanting to be seen, you need to go either by a lake car park, like a National Trust car park or something like that, because no one's going to be around there at like midnight.
No,
unless they're getting busy. Or I've driven like through a little field around the back of some houses before.
What, through a field? Like, through a field?
Yeah, it wasn't public access. It was when, can you remember I had that little red Yaris?
Yeah.
It was in that. I'm surprised the fucking suspensions like survived, because I went there, the same place 3 times, with that girl that you knew from school. I'm not going to say a name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do. And if anyone else knows...
No, like, we're not going to go into details, mate, because... Right. But you know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
And, it's like I was just dropping her off home one evening, and, like, we start making out, and she says, I don't want you to drop me off yet. I was like... Say no more. So we drove off. I think her mum or dad saw us in the car outside, and then, like, I'd gone to drop her off, sat outside her house for 10 minutes, and then left and came back an hour later. And, I think it was her mum definitely, like, saw me.
Don't
from the
be
window.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
So we drove off. I'm driving around for ages. It was near Poolsbrook.
Yeah.
And there were like a couple of like public car parks. I was like, nah, it's too obvious. And then there was like this little side road, like a little housing estate. And off it was like a big open grassland that ran behind like some houses, but the houses had like all big fences on the back of them, so you couldn't actually see into the field. So I like pulled in there. I was like, all right,
I think I know what you mean. And I hate to break it to you, I think it's a graveyard.
No, it's not. Fuck off. Oh my days.
Rest in peace, Marjorie, whilst I'm fucking on your grave.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, yeah, we did it there a few times. There was once, like, I thought we were being proper discreet about it. Like, oh, my parents will never know, and I don't think they do until hearing this. But there was one, like, I think it was like the last time we did it. She like purposely put her hands all over the back window on the inside, and my dad always used to leave the house first, and he used to have to walk past my car to get to his van. And I went out like half an hour after he'd left, and all the condensation in my car was on all the windows apart from these like handprints all over the back window. And I walked out and I saw it. I was like, oh no. But, and this is going to get a bit, I've not said anyone's name, so it's fine. So she squirted in the back of my car. Right. And and there was obviously a bit of my DNA in there as well.
Oh no!
So that was like in the backseat. And that next morning when I got up, I went to uni. So I'm at uni all day. And for lunch, there was like a little chippy in town. So I said to everyone, I was like, "Oh, are we going into town?" They were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'll drive." So there were me, this other lad, who was a dickhead, and this girl. And I said to this girl, I was like, "Oh, you get in the front." I was like, "Tony, you're getting in the back." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, all right, no worries." So he gets in the back. We're halfway to this chippy, and he goes, "Luke, why is this seat wet?" I was like, "Oh yeah, do you know I've been seeing that girl?" He went, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." We went dogging last night. And he was like, "Right, stop the car now. I'm getting out. This is disgusting." He's like, "I'm sat in your cum." I was like, "It's not all mine." And he's like, "That's fucking disgusting. Get out, stop." And he got out and walked the rest of the way.
He definitely didn't have cod for his dinner.
Oh, mate.
You know what? I don't think I've actually, like, in my car personally, I don't think I've actually had sex in my car, like, properly, to a point where...
It is relatively new, though. You only got it recently. Or do you just mean, like, any car?
I mean, like, any car.
Really?
Yeah. Like, obviously, I went into that car park, but I was that paranoid the whole way through. I didn't really, like, manage to do much. Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, if a guy like me can get it on in the back of a Yaris,
yeah,
then I'm sure you can make a Honda Civic work.
Yeah. I need to chuck the baby seats out and get down.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I tried it in the front seat once. That was not a fun experience. I looked like, do you know when Will first has sex on the In-Betweeners? It was literally like that. I'm there stood up like a pencil.
That actually brings me on to a question I've got for you. Have you ever been wanked off whilst you're driving in a manual?
No, not while I've been driving, because I don't trust myself.
It's the hardest thing ever. You've got, like, you're trying not to fucking ejaculate all over your fucking steering wheel. At the same time, you've got clutch control, and then you're trying to change gear, and you can't physically, like, push your foot down enough to change gear, so you fucking grind it whilst she's there fucking, like, tugging on your foreskin. And I'm there's like too much things to think about, and I'm just like, we're gonna die. We're probably gonna die.
Mate, no, if you're gonna do it on the motorway.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done anything to a partner while you've been driving?
Yeah. When I had my Beamer.
It's fun, innit?
Yeah.
On the motorway, just put cruise control on.
To be fair, my Honda Civic's got lane assist now, so that might come in handy. Just stick it in fifth gear.
You and Anna in the back seat. Watch your iPads, kids.
Oh, anyway.
There was one other time that it was when I was living home before I moved over to Manchester.
Yeah.
And I went on a date with this girl, and she picked me up, and she had one of them. Do you know the Vauxhall? Is it like the Adam?
Yeah. Basically the poorer version of my daddy bought me a Fiat 500.
Yeah. Yeah, she had one of them. She picked me up, took me out. I was like, yeah, this is going well. Then she took me to this. Do you know Williamthorpe
Yeah.
Reservoir? She took me into a car park in there.
Right.
We had a wonderful evening. But round there's no signal on your phone.
Right.
And it was getting late at this point. But when I was living at home, it was like my mum and dad just wanted to know that I was all right if I was going out. So once we'd set off, it was like 2:00 in the morning. And like I'd finally get signal, like 8 missed calls from my mum. I was like, oh no. And she was like, you all right? I was like, no. And I felt weird saying as a 26-year-old, no, I've got 8 missed calls from mum. Anyway, so she dropped me off. I got in and I go upstairs and she's in bed, but my dad's not. I was like, she was like, why haven't you been answering your phone? I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't have signal. I went to Mackey's after the pub because we wanted a McFlurry. I was like, where's Dad? She was like, he's gone out looking for you because he thinks you're dead in a ditch.
If only he knew. Your son was in a ditch, but not the ditch that you're thinking of.
Oh my, yeah. She's the girl that looked. Can you remember when we went karaoke after the escape room to that karaoke bar?
Yeah.
That girl in the corner of the bar.
Oh yeah.
That was her. Yeah, don't go there. She looked very different, like when we saw her, because it had been like a good year at that point.
You know what? Like, it's amazing what a year can do to people.
Honestly, innit? My beard was like a quarter of this length a year ago.
Yeah. Your little leg tickler.
You know it.
But like, you used to look at people at school and think, oh yeah, I've not seen them for a while. And it turns out they're like a lot wider than what you recognise them. It's always the fit. It's always the fit ones as well. Like,
yeah, it's like everyone does a role reversal. There was that. Honestly, do you know the girls or like the people that were classed as like the fit ones in school?
Yeah,
mate, you should see them now. Like proper council estate fodder. Like got 3 kids with 5 different dads, kind of. They're all the same. And the ones that were the bullies are the ones that are now on social media talking about like mental health day. It's like everyone's done like a role reversal, and a couple of the uggos are now like fire.
That's it.
Everyone's had like a proper little glow up the last few years, I reckon.
And the special ones are still special. They're still looking at the same windows.
Right,
they were.
Right. What me, John?
They're still stuck there, licking the same window.
Right. We're going to move on from this conversation right now because we're not even talking about dogging anymore. So I think it's time for us to move over to this week's quickfire questions.
Questions. But they're not quickfire questions. They just take a long time to answer. We're going to do it differently this week because, I'll be honest with you, Luke, it takes the piss to go through 6 questions every week. So
it does. And they're not really quick fire, are they?
They're not quick fire. But the thing is, I want to answer your questions, and then and sometimes you want to answer mine. So I think we just do like a little question orgy and answer each other's questions.
That sounds sexual to me.
Oh, yeah. Just to clarify to people listening, we aren't sexual addicts, and we don't just think about sex every day. But if
Speak for yourself.
If anyone's worried about us, don't be. Okay, thank you. So let's go to the first question. If dogging had an Olympic event, what would be the scoring criteria?
Oh, stamina.
Yeah.
The dismount. The splash.
Splash, yeah.
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 There's got to be a fourth. What would you say?
This one, because I wrote the question, I had time to think about this. But basically, I thought about gymnastics. So, like, you've got to start position. So, obviously, the way that you start,
Yeah.
you sort of like dress as well. Like, obviously, because some of them just wear dog masks, like literal dog masks. So, obviously, you've got to be presentable. And then it's more of the finish as well. So, the best finish. So, if a male or a female gets absolutely gooped on,
Right.
the most goop gets the highest points. So that's my that's if you look like a plasterer's radio by the end of it, then you're getting the most points.
Oh my days. Okay, that was a good question. I like that one.
Yeah, it's different. We like different here.
Yeah. Right. If you could have sex anywhere,
Yeah.
like your fantasy place, where would it be?
This is a really hard one because it can't be a beach because you'll get sand in your bits, right?
Yeah.
For both of them, you'll get lots of friction.
Yeah.
And
There's a reason fleshlights don't come with like sandpaper inside them.
yeah, magic sand. Yeah, magic sand flashlights. Dip it in water and it comes out dry.
Oh.
It's a realistic girlfriend fleshlight, that one. I don't know. It's got to be like a hot tub or something. Like a really nice hot tub.
Oh no, mate! The chemicals that are in a hot tub. Are you kidding?
I don't fucking know. I've never really thought about it because we just have basic, normal, everyday sex now.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, don't get married.
You're not married, you dickhead.
I'm pretty much married.
You're not even engaged to be married.
No. I don't know. And where would you go?
No,
Where
you
would
must
go
have
to?
like I'd love to bend her over that.
Have you seen those swings in Thailand where you're like in the jungle and you're like swinging and you can just see the thing, yeah? Like just see the view, right?
Yeah. Like the massive adrenaline ones that swing you like through the rainforest down a mountain.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You would not maintain an erection on that. I can guarantee you right now.
Well, imagine it said female was on the bottom, like sat down, like sort of like I don't know, on her knees. Well, I've got her knees on the seat. Then I've got my arms up here, and then we're just looking at the view, swinging away, and every swing is a thrust. That would be my perfect show.
You're a dickhead.
Either that or in Bahamas.
Yeah, that's normal. That's like a nice normal thing to do.
You know, on the like the balcony, is it like balcony? Like the decking they have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bending her over at banister.
My dream, and this sounds really bad, but I don't give a shit because I just think it'd be hysterical.
The nursing home.
No. No, my old manager's desk.
Right.
Like, if I still had keys to that place.
Was it a good desk?
No, but I'd just love the feeling of knowing what I'd done. And I'd like videotape it and then just
send it in.
But like, oh, do you know what I could do? I could like post it on like Instagram and tag them in it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nah, this is a mad fantasy. This is more than just like sex anywhere in it. Right, okay.
Let's say we've got little Johnny over here. He's a...
I use big ones.
He's an amateur. He wants to go down to Shalito Woods next weekend.
Yeah.
What advice are you going to give to him about dogging?
Take a towel. Take some baby wipes.
Yeah.
Take some snacks, because you're going to need them.
Yeah, you do get a bit hungry after.
Yeah. Bottled water and a toothbrush, in case you like sneaking off with a mistress. You don't want to get home to your wife smelling like a tuna salad.
Yeah.
That's it, and just have fun. Savor the moment.
Yeah, that's good advice. Little Johnny would do well with that advice.
Yeah. What would your advice be?
My advice would be, don't flash too many times. Because
Your lights or your tits?
Your penis and your lights. Not everyone is a dogger, so yeah, just remember that. Some people are actually there to go hiking.
They just want a nice Sunday drive with their significant other and to have like a cucumber sandwich in the car park. They don't want to deal with your filth.
And remember that if it's warm enough outside to wear a t-shirt, then it's warm enough to go dogging. That's my advice.
That is beautiful advice. Very poetic.
Thank you.
I enjoyed those questions. They were good.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah. If you let us know if you like the new format or if you want us to go back to the old format with 3 questions each. I know I need to improve on my questions because they're a bit wank.
You just got to ask GPT a bit more specific questions.
I don't use ChatGPT apart from like, every now and then. It definitely didn't come up with the concept of this podcast. Oh man. Well, again, we don't have any listener stories. I'm gonna get people to write some in because we definitely need some. This episode, I think we're 1 week away from starting to release, aren't we?
Yeah.
So hopefully then, if you've got any stories, you can start sending them in. You can start getting your experiences out to other people. Because I'm sure you want your traumas all over the internet just as much as we do.
I've also setting up a GoFundMe for my mic that's just broken filming this podcast. So if anyone can 3D print or send me some money to buy a new mic mount, that would be much appreciated.
Mate, we'll be monetised one day. Actually, I don't fucking think we will with the amount of shit that you're coming out with. One day we'll be rich. But that's not why we do. That's not why we're doing this.
No,
we're doing this because I, for one, really enjoy it. Having a chat with you, getting our stories out.
Yeah,
and it's nice to schedule time with your friends.
That's it. I think
it's got a bit deep in it.
Yeah, but if we're sponsored by Mind at any point, we'll tell everyone that you need to talk to your friends, and it's okay not to be okay.
And it's okay if you don't like dogging.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do what?
Don't dog.
Why? No, you can have fun.
You can.
It can be fun.
With the right person.
Nah, it don't matter. When the lights are off, mate, it's dark in them woods.
It all tastes the same.
It doesn't, right? It doesn't all taste the same. Don't even lie about that. Oh, can I tell you a little bonus story just before we sign off?
Okay, go on.
Talking about tasting the same. You know what story I'm about to tell you?
No.
So the girl who lives in the apartment block across from me, and we went out for drinks in Northern Quarter one night.
Right.
And at the end of the night, she was like, "Are we going back to yours or mine then?" And I was like, "Oh, she's forward. I like it." Like, "Oh, go back to mine." So we got back. I went down because I'm a gentleman, and we start having sex, and then at one point, we switch roles. I don't mean male female. I just mean either I was on top and she was on bottom, and we swapped or whatever. And she looks at my dick and goes, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "What?" Thinking I'd cut it or something. And she goes, "I think I've got thrush." And I was like, "What?" So I'm like, "Oh, this is not good." So I then goes to the toilet, and I'm sat on my phone Googling, "Can you get thrush in your mouth?"
And if there's anybody listening, you actually can. So
yeah, I had to order 2 tablets through the post. It cost me fucking 15 quid then. Oh, imagine that.
Oh, she set you up there big time.
Oh, she must have known.
That's why she was so eager.
Yeah, but who's eager to give someone thrush in the mouth? I mean, she didn't ask me to go down on her. I did that because I'm a fan. But honestly, mate, it's made me think twice about going down on a stranger.
Luke just randomly goes up to people in the street and goes down on them.
How else do you pay for your coffee?
That's very true.
Right, so I think this is a perfect time to wrap up for this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you've got any stories, send them into ShameAndShenanigans@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram with the same name.
If you've got any questions as well.
Oh, yeah, and if you've got questions that you want to ask us, absolutely fire away.
Yeah.
Because I reckon we're going to run out of questions to ask each other pretty soon. We've already changed the concept, and it's only episode 3.
I feel like we can get some juicy gossip from us if you ask us some decent questions. And we'll answer them honestly and truthfully.
If we make a promise that any question that's asked to us, we have to answer honestly, or is this going to screw us over?
Well, I don't know all your friends, but I imagine they've got some good questions to ask you, Luke.
Oh, yeah, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. My mum showed all my aunties and uncles the first episode the other day. And I was like, oh, shit. So they're all going to be listening as well. So, yeah, let's not get into... I mean, after what we've just talked about on this...
Okay, send all your questions in. Aim them all at Luke, and we'll answer them truthfully. Right.
Yeah, that sounds good. So that's all from us this week. I've been Luke.
And I've been Josh.
And you've been listening to I've Got a Story for You. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.